What controls a country? Is it the politicians? Is it the businesses? Is it the big oil companies? In my opinion, it would be the currency. Think about this. Everything that you do takes money in order to do so. If you want to travel to a new location, even travel to your workplace, it takes gas, it takes a vehicle, which takes money. For you to eat, whether you're getting something from the grocery store or going to McDonald's, it takes money. You exchange that currency in order for something of value. Think about this. During the Great Depression, we had presidents, we had resources, we had oil. But there's one thing we didn't have, and that is currency, readily available. And as a result, individuals starved, even though the United States was rich with resources. And as a result of price controls, there is a famous story that milk turned sour, and that milk was flushed in the gutters. Even though you had American citizens that were starving. And that would be my response. When it comes down to it, whoever controls the currency controls the country. It doesn't matter who makes the laws, who produces the resources. What matters is the currency. Keeping that in mind, think about this. How do you earn currency? Well, one of the ways is that you exchange your time for money. You wait tables, you work in an office, you teach, you stock shelves at a grocery store, you exchange your time and you get compensated for that time. Or you buy assets like land, gold, stocks, bonds, so on and so forth. You exchange that for value in the future. But the common denominator in all this is that you have to provide something of value in exchange for your money. You have to sell something, do something, provide something. And I think that is good. One of the good things about capitalism is that the individuals that provide good services and good products are compensated for that. I am a pro-capitalist. I will admit that. But how do the banks make money? The banks make money by printing money, loaning it to you, and then you have to pay back that in interest. And to pay that back in interest, you either have to go deeper in debt, or you have to sell things, real tangible assets, or work more time. Instead of spending time watching football, spending time with friends and family, doing what you want to do, you have to go to the office, go to the grocery store, go to the factory, wherever it is you work. And that is all by design. Think about this. If the elites can print money out of thin air, loan it to you at interest, then you're going to spend all your time working, all your time selling, all your time trying to stay above water to survive. That way you will not threaten the ruling class. And then you have distractions. You have football, alcohol, fast food. It makes you dumber, unhealthier, and overall distracts you. Instead of reading about the Green Revolution, where the Rockefellers took over the food industry, for instance, you will watch Tom Brady throw touchdowns. And I will admit it, I like Tom Brady. The Patriots are my favorite team. But being obsessed with it versus watching it are two completely different things. But back to the banking. The bankers don't have to produce goods or services so they can be on their yachts, They can travel the world. They can spend their time doing what they want to do, whatever the hell they want to do, while printing out money without a sweat, without any sweat on their brow. And then you actually have to go out and do something in order to pay that back off. So this series will basically be me talking about the banking industry. I will get into when the first national bank was established, the banks today, their top shareholders in these companies, these are called the Big Six, I'll get into these. They control all of the largest companies in the world. And just an overall education about these institutions, their owners, and the man behind the curtain. So let's get into it without further ado. According to the New York Fed Center for Microeconomic Data, total household debt rose by 12.4 billion. Oh, I'm sorry, there wasn't a decimal there, I apologize. Rose by 124 billion to reach 13.67 trillion in the first quarter of 2019, an increase of 0.9%. The amount of debt has risen for 18 consecutive quarters and is 21% higher than the 12.7 trillion owed in 2008 during the height of the Great Recession. And so what that basically means is 13.67 trillion. The bankers are going to get all of that money not by creating iPods, hamburgers, cleaning your carpet, or fixing your car, by simply printing money. You have to pay that back, and they're going to pocket all of that. But there's more debt owed currently, and it has risen in 18 consecutive quarters according to the New York Fed's Center for Microeconomic Data, and it's 21% higher than during the height of the Great Recession. And so that's why when you hear President Trump say we have the greatest economy in history, I disagree. I will admit I support President Trump, but I disagree with him on that particular statement. Student loan debt hit 1.46 trillion. Mortgage debt accounted for most of the total, hitting 9.12 trillion. Auto loan debt totaled 584 billion in 2018, the highest amount recorded in 19 years of collecting data. Credit card debt is 870 billion. And so if you add the total public debt, it is 18.89 trillion. Think about that. Not billion, not million, but trillion. Most people will not even see a million in their lifetime, much less a billion or a trillion. And we don't even have anyone who is worth $1 trillion. The richest man, Jeff Bezos, is not even worth that amount of money. So think about this. That amount of money is owed. That is the public debt from individuals. You, me, other people. For the fiscal year 2020, that runs through October 1st, 2019, through September 30th, 2020, the government will pay $479 billion in interest on the debt. Think about that, $497 billion, not for goods and services, not for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, missiles, weapons, healthcare, education. No, it's all going to go to the bankers. $479 billion. According to the Congressional Budget Office projections, interest on the debt will grow to $914 billion in 2028 and will total nearly $7 trillion over the next decade. Think about that, $7 trillion. Not from a company that produces goods or services. And I keep reiterating that to hammer in the point in your subconscious mind. Repetition, repetition. But basically, just for printing out of thin air. And now they don't really print out of thin air, more or less. What they do is they basically put decimals in a computer. And then you owe them for that. Think about this. If you were able to do that, if you had a machine that could print money or decimals, you could loan that out to people and make them pay back that interest, then you would be a very wealthy man. Not only that, but you wouldn't have to create a product. You wouldn't have to invent the light bulb, air conditioner. You wouldn't have to buy things online in order to resell them for more money.